Well, I seem to be having a technical problem here. Hopefully the stream is intact. I have my mic on, camera seems to be on, but I'm having trouble. All right, well, I hope this is going out. If it's not, I'll redo it later. Anyways, hello everyone. It's time for my devotional. It's been a long time since I've been on here. Uh, just to give it a bit of an explanation with that, as I've been ill a lot this year. I think I mentioned that in a previous stream, but I've been ill a lot this year. Anyways, I found out I had pneumonia, so the last week I've been trying to recover from that. And whatever this viral infection is, the doctor says it's going to take a few weeks to months to recover from. So that's cheerful. Anyways, that's where I've been. Sorry for the absence. I hope that I will be able to continue now on and to continue to do the content that I've been doing. Of course, it's as the Lord wills. So we know that He's in charge, and so whatever happens, happens. Anyways, that's the explanation for my absence. Anyway, today we're hopefully back, and tomorrow hopefully I'll have another one as well, if the Lord wills it. Anyways, let's just dive right in. So we're in Proverbs chapter 6. And we've been working our way through, of course, one verse at a time, and we're on verse 7 today. But I'm going to read verse 6 to 11 because there's a little paragraph here that's all connected. And so to understand 7, we really kind of need to have the whole thing. So let me read it, and then we'll just focus on verse 7 today and what we can glean from this as far as wisdom for life. So Proverbs 6, verse 6 to 11 says, "Go to the ant, O sluggard, observe her ways and be wise, which, having no chief, officer, or ruler, prepares her food in the summer and gathers her provision in the harvest. How long will you lie down, O sluggard? How long will you? When will you arise from your sleep? A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest. Your poverty will come in like a vagabond, and your need like an armed man." So that's the context. Now it's clearly talking about the importance of not being a sluggard, of being working and providing and so on. But we're going to focus on that verse 7. So it says, "Which having no chief," talking about the ant, right? The whole thing is saying, just observe the ant. Take a look at this, at how in nature there's a little lesson here in the ant. The ant provide, all summer works away, providing for itself, bringing in food, getting ready for the winter. And so in verse 7 just emphasizes, "Which having no chief, officer, or ruler." Now, there may be a temptation, so I want to hit this right away. There may be a temptation for some to say, "We know that ants have queens, that there's a queen of the colony." And so, yes, we know that. And that's not the point here. The point of this verse is that there isn't there isn't a foreman communicating to these ants what they have to do, where they have to go, what they need to do. Here, go do this now, go do that. And they're not given direction. And so the whole emphasis of this is not whether or not they have a particular ant creature in the middle of their den that we call a queen. That's not the point. The point is that when they go out, they go out. They don't need to be told to. They go out and they do their work. They're built right into them, sure, but they go and do their work. And the whole emphasis of this section is that it's not just about being lazy. It does talk about the sluggard, but it's about taking on responsibility for yourself and realizing that if you want to eat, you need to work to get the food, right? If you want to have some sort of a successful outcome, you need to put in the work to do it. And that's what this section is talking about. Yes, don't be lazy, but be proactive, be active, go and do it. It's emphasizing an important part of maturity, which is the ability to take responsibility on ourselves, to know that we have responsibility and to meet it. This really is a sign of maturity. When we're young, we don't like responsibility. We grow up. We're children. We want to play. We just want to do what feels good. We're glad that mom and dad take care of everything. At the end of the day, we come down and sit at the table, and there's food given to us, and we didn't have to do anything to get that food. Mom and dad took care of that, and that's all great and fun when you're a child. But as we grow older, you can't just continue to live in that you can't just continue to live and say, you know what, somebody else will provide for me, somebody else will carry my weight. And this is talking about that, saying, take a look at the ant, how the ant goes out, and every member of that ant hive, they They all do their thing. They all go out, and it's for a common good, but it's also for their own good. And this need for us to understand, part of wisdom is learning that taking responsibility for things is a good thing. It's a proper thing. It's a wise thing. That we need to be people who can take responsibility, and we need to be people who can self-motivate, not just take responsibility because we have somebody cracking a whip over our head. Now, once again, when we're children, our motivation comes from external sources, right? We have parents, go clean your room, they say, or we have, put on your seatbelt, or whatever. And our parents watch over us and they motivate us some different ways, sometimes through discipline, sometimes through reward, whatever it is, sometimes just through example, but they motivate us and we rely on them as children, or our teachers when we go to school and our teachers motivate us, right? Here's your homework. And if you want a good mark, you better do the homework or whatever. And there's this external motivation that comes in. Or when you get a job, now you're older, you get a job, and then you have a boss who is going to be saying, do this, do that. And he's motivating your day to some degree. Now, as we grow and we mature, we resist that motivation. We resist that external source. We grow increasingly rebellious. Really, we want to be our own motivators. But the problem is this: is as we grow older, if we decide, I don't want external people. I don't want a chief over me, or a teacher over me, or a parent over me, or someone over me motivating me. I want to motivate myself. I want to do what I want to do. But the problem is, if we gain that level of motivation, which we should, we often want that without the responsibility of, I need to now provide for myself, and I need to do for myself, and I need to self-motivate. What a lot of people do, and it's lack of maturity, but what a lot of people do is they grow up, they want to be out from under the external motivations, but they don't want to take on the personal responsibility. And that's very dysfunctional. We need to realize the wisdom and the importance of taking on responsibility, and then self-motivating myself to do it, and not needing an external source to push me forward to do the thing. If I need to go to work, I shouldn't need to have the threat of losing my job be the only thing that makes me go to work. Or I need to plan for the storm that's coming, and I shouldn't need the my wife nagging me and saying, well, there's a storm coming. It shouldn't be that way. I should be self-motivated and taking on the responsibility myself, self-regulating, so that I can do this. It's a very important thing to learn. And this proverb is saying, take a look at nature. Nature itself kind of teaches us this idea. When you look at the world and you realize nature doesn't care about whether or not you're motivated. It doesn't care about whether you take responsibility. Winter will arrive, whether you've gathered food or not. Winter will arrive, and then you will have to live with whatever you have or have not done. And so here, the ant just seems to know that. So the ant goes out and gathers and prepares, and when winter comes, there's food. And so too with us, we need to realize that the world and nature, just the natural living of life, things don't get done if somebody doesn't do them. And in my own life, I shouldn't live my life thinking I will be provided for by someone else and I don't need to do anything. Very important lesson for young people to learn as they're growing older. Sadly, in our world right now, there is an awful lot of the opposite being taught, is that you should get to have outcomes regardless of your input, regardless of whether you work. Somebody else should carry you. That's being taught, and it really is being taught, and it's a shame, because nature doesn't care whether that's being taught. Nature will still do what it does. Winter will still come. The need will still arise, and if people haven't taken the responsibility and motivated themselves to prepare for that, then their hunger it'll be inevitable. It's just the way the world works. And so this is the wisdom of this verse, and it's just emphasizing in that particular verse 7. It's emphasizing as part of this whole idea of being a person who takes responsibility. It's emphasizing you should do it, and you shouldn't need someone to drive you forward to do it. There shouldn't be a need for someone cracking a whip over your head for you to do the things that you should be doing in order to prepare to take care of even just yourself in life. If you want success, if you want to grow up and be a successful person, the answer isn't just play the lottery and hope that something falls in your lap, right? Oh, maybe somebody, I'll get discovered and I'll be a star and I won't have to do any work at all. No, if you want to succeed, do the work, motivate yourself, do the work. Say, I want the outcome that I like. I like that outcome. So you work for it. And that's the lesson here from this. That's the wisdom from this part of the proverb. God help us to do it. Help us to grow in this and to mature in this and to be better at it. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow for verse 8. Have a great day and be well. I got through the whole thing without coughing. I'm amazed. Anyway, take care.